Today, the S&P 500 slid to its lowest level since September as investors brace for what President Trump calls Tariff Liberation Day on Wednesday. That's when he's promising to roll out his long-planned reciprocal tariffs on nations. On top of that, U.S. tariffs on foreign-made autos and auto parts will also go into effect. The president telling NBC's Kristen Welker he couldn't care less if foreign automakers raise prices on consumers. And Politico reports that even some of Trump's closest advisors are unsure exactly what he's planning to do with all these tariffs. I want to bring in Jake Sherman, co-founder of Punchbowl News and an MSNBC political contributor. Joining me here at the big board, NBC's Christine Romans. There's been so much talk, Christine, of tariffs. They've been levied, they've been pulled back. It's confusing for a lot of folks, but I know you've been tracking it all. So tell us what exactly is happening this week.
Threats and deadlines and pauses and retaliation. It has really been a storm of tariff talk. And just to tell you where we are, here's what is in effect. You've got tariffs against China, against steel and aluminum from the entire world, against Canada and Mexico on some auto parts, and then more Canadian and Mexican tariffs expected here. And then what we'll learn this week, that Liberation Day from foreign-made goods, that's what that's all about. You've got 12,500 tariff categories, 200 trading partners, the potential for just millions of new tariffs, or just a blanket tariff rate on everything. We just don't know what the president's going to decide with just days to go.
So, Jake, President Trump's senior trade advisor, Peter Navarro, claims that American consumers will benefit from the tariffs. I want to play that.
We're going to provide tax benefits, tax credits to the people who buy American cars. This is a genius thing that President Trump promised on the campaign trail. And in addition, the other tariffs are going to raise about $600 billion a year, about $6 trillion over a 10-year period. Consumers and Americans are going to be better off, including all the jobs they get.
It's a genius thing. Your Punchbowl News says Navarro's comments are going to dominate Capitol Hill conversations all week. So tell me what you're hearing so far, and if you're sensing any nervousness from Trump's allies on the Hill.
Massive nervousness.
Massive, okay.
How's that for a response? But let me talk about Navarro quickly. Two things that are important to keep in mind. Number one, the Trump administration has fallen into a habit of saying what it will do on taxes. It will provide a tax credit for American-made cars. It will waive tax payments for people making less than $150,000. The Trump administration can do nothing. The Trump administration can come to Congress and ask for Congress to put that into law. Otherwise, those are just made-up ideas. And they very well might on those two issues. I don't have much hope that either of those things are going to happen. That's number one. Number two, these numbers that Navarro is making up, or that he's stating about how much revenue these tariffs will bring in, are without evidence, right? We don't know. We have no idea where he's getting these numbers from. And this is the difficulty in policy making writ large, but also in policy making when you're in the huge minority in believing that this will be a successful short or long-term play, is that you're going to see, and we're seeing it now, equity markets slide because of these tariff fears, and they're making policy in a political world. So you have to wonder, and I wonder, and I hear it every day up here, whether Republican lawmakers are going to have the stomach to withstand their constituents harping at them over, their 401ks being cut by 20%. Because of these tariffs. And I've had people inside the administration and on the periphery of the administration and folks up here say, we don't know, we understand Trump's view on tariffs, but we don't know what we're asking for in return right now. This seems to be these aren't reciprocal right now. They're right now basically across the board 20% tariffs. So the White House is not doing, according to folks up here, a particularly good job at communicating what it's trying to achieve in the short, the medium, and long term, and what the White House and Congress will do to kind of bridge the gap and smooth things over for American businesses, American farms, and American consumers. And just one more thing here, and I'm sorry to dominate this, but Chris, if a company, the idea is to put manufacturing in this country. But if a company's stock is cut by 20%, consumers are spending less, are companies really going to be interested in investing in the United States when they're just trying to survive? That's another thing I've heard. So this will be a very interesting week when it comes to economic news, especially here on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, I'm also trying to figure out, Jake, and I think, we're past the point of necessarily being surprised by something that gets said by Donald Trump. But I'm trying to imagine a group of Republicans sitting around a table talking about messaging and thinking, the president saying he couldn't care less if those car prices go up is a great idea.
Well, in the totality of the quote was they'll buy American cars. But by the way, there are some American-made cars that still contain foreign components that wouldn't necessarily qualify. And I think Trump warned automakers not to raise prices in anticipation or in the wake of this, but we'll have to see if they heed that advice. And I can tell you, it is just clear as day, and we saw it in the last election. Consumers care, obviously, about the state of the economy, how much money they have, how much they can spend, and they hold the party in power responsible. And maybe the economy turns around, maybe the market's booming by 2026 and the economy's in the clear. But if it's not, this is a midterm election, the first midterm election in a president's cycle. Speaker Mike Johnson has said Republicans are going to increase the seats that they have in the House of Representatives. I don't know how that could happen if the economy, if equity markets are tanking.
I was looking at the numbers this morning, Christine, and of course I can't remember it off the top of my head, but in addition to almost half of the cars that are purchased in the United States being foreign cars, more than half of American cars have foreign parts.
Yeah. The most American car I can find is 80%. It's assembled in the U.S. and it's 80% of the product in it is American and 20% comes from someplace else.
So every single American car has foreign parts.
Right. You're going to see, yes, absolutely. And you're going to see higher costs for all those. Now, let me game this out for you because Jake is so right to think about it this way. If you have an exhausted consumer who is already worried about affordability for cars and car insurance, by the way, because car insurance will also go up if cars cost more, and cars get more expensive, people buy less. So the automakers do what? They make fewer cars, and they actually are producing less. When they produce less, they lose a shift. Who loses first? The United Auto Workers, the workers who are putting those cars together because now you're making fewer cars. And so you have this situation where it can be the tariffs could be a chilling effect on the very thing that the president is trying to revive in the United States.
Jake, there's a new CBS poll out. 52% of Americans have a negative view of Trump's handling of the economy. 64% say he is not focused enough on lowering prices, something he said he would do on day one. 55% say he is focused too much on tariffs. Can the administration look at these numbers and think that Americans are willing to wait out how long it might take, even if the positive consequences he's promising happen?
That's the question. And that's why government tends to operate on short-term juice to the economy, short-term planning. The American voter doesn't really have a long-term view of the world, which is why our deficit and debts are, our deficit's our debt rather is $37 trillion, because people don't reward politicians who are going to make tough long-term choices. I think that these polls, that the right track, wrong track, approval, disapproval, are really just a momentary EKG. I don't put a lot of stock in them, to be honest with you. I think, listen, if the Republicans in the House and the Senate pass a huge tax cut bill and that gets popular, it'll flip the other way. So I don't put a ton of stock in those in the moment. But if you have 5 or 6 of those that are showing that people don't like the way the economy is being handled, they don't think he's lowered prices quickly enough, then that's a problem. And on top of that, I want to say one more thing here. It's very difficult on the campaign trail it's easy on the campaign trail, rather, to promise immediate action, immediate solutions for something. And then when you get into the White House and you get into power, it's a lot more difficult. There are a ton of reasons why goods are more expensive than they were, a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever the case may be. And it's not really immediately solvable all the time. But the president said on the campaign trail he was going to solve it. And now voters are going to wonder why he has not solved it when he said he would.